the opposite or additive inverse of any number A is negative A. The opposite or additive inverse of any number A is negative A. The sum of opposites is always 0. The sum of opposites is always 0. The reciprocal or multiplicative inverse of any number that is non-zero is 1 over A. So if your original is A, its reciprocal is 1 over A. And the product of reciprocals is always 1. So the opposite of any number is pretty easy. You just take whatever the number is and you make it the opposite sign. So the additive inverse of 4 is negative 4. The additive inverse of negative 3 1/7 is positive 3 1/7. The additive inverse of negative 0.002 is 0.002. The additive inverse of negative 4/9 is 4/9. The additive inverse of 4 1/5 is negative 4 1/5. And the additive inverse of 600 is negative 600. The reciprocal is a little bit trickier. So the reciprocal of 4 is 1/4. It's 1 over that number. The sign is the same. If you have an mixed number, you need to change it to an improper fraction. So negative 3 1/7 is the same as negative 22/7. So its reciprocal is negative 7 over 22. Negative 0.002 is the same as the fraction 1 500. So its reciprocal is negative 500. And you could also do that if you took 1 over 0.002. You would get negative 500 as well. A fraction that is not a mixed number simply flips. So negative 4/9 becomes negative 9/4. 4 1/5. Again, you need to change that to an improper. So that's 21/5. So its reciprocal is 5 over 21. And the reciprocal of 600 is 1 over 600. Pretty easy. Okay, the second part of the lesson we're going to look at today is the distributive property. There are two methods that we're going to look at for the distributive property. Method 1 is where you sum up the insides and then multiply. Method 2 is where you distribute and then sum. So for method 1, we'll do that first. So it says the prices of the components of a computer offered at the computer depot are shown in the table below. If a 6% sales tax is added to the purchase price, how much sales tax is charged for this computer package? So we want to find the cost of the sales tax, which is 0.06%, based on the total cost of the package. So in order to do that, you would sum up all of the parts. And you get that the total cost of the package is $907.44. You'd multiply that by 0.06, and it would cost $54.45 in sales tax. Method 2 says you find the sales tax of each individual item and then sum the parts. So that's like 0.06 times 359.95 plus 0.06 times 219.99. Now, in the case of this problem, which of those two methods is significantly easier? Yep, Nick. Yeah, method 1. So there are times where it is easier or smarter to do one method over the other. Because for this method, I'm more likely to make a error trying to multiply all of those parts and sum them together. If you do multiply them all out, though, you should get the same answer that we got the first time. So again, that's not the total cost. The total cost of the package is actually the $54.45 plus the $907.44. The $54.45 is only what he's paying in addition to the price of each part for tax. Okay, let's look at the same thought, but now let's look at it with the price in Kayla's job. Good morning, Miss McBride. Okay, so again, let's go with method 1 to start. So method 1 is you sum up the parts and then multiply by the total. So Kayla makes $8 per hour working at a grocery store. The number of hours Kayla worked each day in 1 week are as follows. How much money did Kayla earn? So we would take the amount of money she makes per hour and multiply that by the total number of hours she works. So we would add 3 plus 2.5 plus 2 plus 1 plus 4. So she worked 12.5 total hours. Multiply that by $8. And we see that she earned $100 for the week. Method 2 says, okay, day 1, she worked 3 hours and makes $8 an hour. She makes $8 an hour and worked 2.5 hours. $8 an hour for 2 hours, $8 an hour for 1, $8 an hour for 4. So she made 24 one day. She made 20 the next day. She made 16 the third day, then 8, and then 32, for a total of $100. Okay, next, Audrey goes to the post office. She bought 8 42-cent stamps and 8 27-cent postcard stamps. What was the total amount of money Audrey spent on stamps? So again, this one I feel like almost sets you up for method 2. Because this time you're given 8 at 42 cents plus 8 at 27 cents. So when you read the problem, you almost want to just set it up like this. And you get she spent $5.52 on stamps. Because she bought 8 of both types, you can actually still use method 1. Because the total number of stamps bought is 8. And then you can add up the prices at each. And once again, we see that she spent $5.52 on stamps. The last part of lesson 1-2 is to simplify expressions by combining like terms using the distributive property that we just talked about with word problems. So here again, this is the same sort of idea. Is it easier to distribute and then combine, or combine then distribute? In this case, we need to distribute in order to combine the Q's and the R's. So we're going to get rid of our parentheses by distributing the 3 and the 5. So you get 6Q plus 3R plus 20Q minus 35R, giving 26Q minus 32R. In B, we're going to do the same. In B, you have to be careful, though, you're distributing a negative. So 3 times 4 is 12x. 3 times 2 is negative 6y. But a negative times a positive is a negative 6x minus 2y. Combine x to get 6x, y to y to get negative 8y. Four times 3 is 12a. 4 times b is negative 4b. 2 times b is 2b. And 2 times 3 is 6a. A's to A's gives 18a. B's to B's gives negative 2b. Okay, so once again, homework on here matches your textbook. It also matches the very next page in that packet. So you may begin working on that now. You can ask questions, get help. I'm here. Don't hesitate to ask for help.